Hey, what's up, guys? It's the DMV Drakes here coming at you with an Ulforceveedramon deck profile. None other than Dread Joker. He's going to take it away. Let's go.
Alright, we got 4 eggs. The standard 4 Wanyamon. It's the best egg for blue nowadays. Because all you need is a blue Tamer. When you swing, you draw a card. It's like Oopa, but better.
Like Oopa, but better.
Got 4 copies of Starter Deck 8 Veemon. He's the one that warps into an Ulforce when you your opponent has a level 6 out. And then his inheritable is on swing. If you have 7 or less cards in hand, you draw a card. That comes in very handy, especially because you're going to be playing a lot of Tamers. They don't recycle themselves, so you do check a lot of... you do resolve this when you swing quite a few times. And you want to resolve this before you resolve your Wanyamons. So remember to do that in the proper order. Next, you got EX1 Veemon. It doesn't do anything by himself, but as an inheritable, he goes and every time you unsuspend once per turn, you gain a memory. And then last, we got the new Veemon. On play, you reveal top 3, grab a Tamer and a Veedramon, and then when you play a Tamer as an inheritable, you gain a memory.
Insane.
Lots of memory gaining in this deck. Lots of memory gaining.
Oh, yeah, don't I know it.
There you got 4 copies of BT-11, or BT-11 Veedramon. Once per turn, when you play a Tamer, if he's on the board, you draw a card, or if it's an inheritable, you gain a memory.
Notice a pattern about the gaining memory.
Lots of gaining memory.
Lots of gaining memory.
Lots of gaining memory. You got 3 copies of EX2 Leomon. If you have a Tamer out, he's a blocker, and then on deletion, you draw 1 and gain 2 memory. And then 3 copies of Kumamon, because you're playing a bunch of Tamers, you might as well play hybrids. Using the Kumamon on your Tamers also lets you get up to your level 6 as fast as possible, so it's just another way to turbo out your Ulforce.
Beautiful so far.
Alright, last we got level 5s. We got 4 of the BT-11 Ulforceveedramon. You can suspend him to check top 3 and add all Tamers to your hand, and then bot deck the rest. And then as an inheritable, when you attack, you get to trigger your Rina Shinomiya?
Call Arena.
You get to trigger her all play effects. Got 2 copies of ST8 Ulforceveedramon. He's got jamming, and then he gets security +1 if you got 7 or more cards in hand, or 8 or more cards in hand. You want the jamming comes in really handy because you want your Ulforce suspended. So these are your optimal Digivolution targets, because you want to be able to suspend your level 5 before you Digivolve. That way you can get your unsuspended Ulforce. But we also play 2 copies of Ulforceveedramon 0. On Digivolve, you trash 3, and then you gain 3 KDP till the end of turn. And then when attacking, you can send 3 non-Digi-Egg cards to the bottom of your deck to gain 2 KDP. It increases the power of Ulforce. That way he can run over things like Black or Greymon and Machinedramon. And then it also just makes it safer for this to swing into security or your Ulforce to swing into security.
Yeah, that'll probably be excellent.
And then level 6s, you got BT-11 Ulforceveedramon. On Digivolve, you play a Tamer from hand, and when you play a Tamer, he unsuspends. That's not once per turn. What is once per turn is when he unsuspends, you bounce a opponent's Digimon with level 3 +1 for every Tamer, every blue Tamer that you have. It is only on your opponent. It is only on your turn, and it is only once per turn. And so, if you don't have your Tamers set up prior to the bounce, if there is a target on the board, you do miss the chance to bounce again. So it'll check if you say your opponent has a level 6 and you can only bounce up to level 5s. It'll attempt to bounce the level 6, and because it whiffs, you missed your chance to bounce again.
On to the Tamers.
On to the Tamers.
Tamer party.
The best part.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite part. 2 copies of Jerry. You're playing the Leomon package, so you might as well play Jerry, right? When you play her, you get to play a Leomon, and when your opponent attacks you, attacks in general, you tap her to draw a card. One of the plays I'll explain a little later. It comes in handy, but you actually can trigger the on play to play a Leomon on your opponent's turn. You got 2 copies of Davis, the hardest working blue Tamer, hardest working Tamer in the game.
Yeah, the hardest working Tamer in the game.
Came out in BT 1.5 and hasn't left since. Check top 3, add a blue and a green. There's no green in here, so you're just adding a blue, and then he's a memory Tamer. I got 2 copies of BT-2 Rina Shinamiya. You get to tap her to give your Ulforce 1K, and you get to on play check top 3 for a card with V in the name and add it to hand. The plus 1K is important to make your Ulforce 13s, 14s if you got more than one.
Any level 5s or higher.
Got 2 copies of V Tamer Tai, also important for the plus 1 DP. But you can also tap him to draw a card. It also helps that he's a 2K because it makes it cheap to drop to unsuspend your Ulforceveedramon. And then the most expensive Tamer in the game, you got Rina Shinamiya, BT-11 style.
That's like $240.
The most expensive Tamer in the game. On play, you give your Vmon anything with V in the name, blocker and evade, or Veedramon. You get to give it blocker and evade. And then all turns when you suspend your Veedramon, you get to suspend her to trigger its on Digivolve. And then when one of your Veedramons unsuspends, you gain a memory.
Insane.
She does a lot. She does a lot.
She does a lot.
So back to what I was saying about triggering Jerry. If you have your Ulforce on board and you played this, give it blocker and evade. On your opponent's turn, you can block, which triggers the Rina to trigger the on Digivolve to play the Jerry and play the Leomon.
It's crazy.
You don't get the unsuspend because the unsuspend is only on your opponent's turn, but you do get a 2 blocks,
blockers, yeah.
or you get a blocker and you get to evade destruction. So
And Leomon's really sticky because when it dies, it gains 2 memory too. Yeah.
Stealing turns.
Stealing turns. Yep. Yeah, it's really good.
but it's our turn.
It's our
Your
turn.
turn? No, it's our turn. I got 2 copies of Blue Memory Boost. On play, check top 4, add a blue card to hand, delay, gain 2 memory.
Consistency.
And last but not least, you need your security bombs, 2 copies of Kakaitis Breath, because there's a lot of spooky things out there that swing a lot of
yeah.
security, so try to get rid of it.
All right, man. It's a beautiful deck list. I just got one question for
What's
you.
up?
All right, if you could change anything about the deck, what would you change?
I would add Ulforce X Antibody like today.
Hey, all right. Thank you guys for watching. You take it easy. More deck lists to come. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you.